is gonna be Karina. And all counter is Scott. Grammarian will be Adolfo. Timer will be, who's timer? Beatrice.
And me.
Okay, timer will be Beatrice and Adolfo. And vote counter will be, is that Adolfo? Is that what you wrote down?
The same Beatrice.
Okay, Beatrice and Adolfo will be doing the board counter. Speaker 1 will be Beatrice. Speaker 2, we have Adolfo. And we have the general evaluator will be Bobby. And we have, we have 2 speakers, will be Beatrice and Adolfo. Then speaker 1,
Evaluate.
the evaluator is
Scott.
be Bobby.
Scott.
Or
Scott?
Yeah.
Scott?
Scott,
Okay.
speak evaluator 1.
Okay.
Okay, Scott is evaluator 1. And evaluator 2, Bobby, right?
Yes.
Bobby, okay. And
I guess that's it.
that's it?
It's Scott, right? The topic is Scott.
Yeah, so,
You can prepare for
okay, so Bobby will be evaluating Beatrice.
Alright.
And-
No.
No?
Adolfo.
Bobby will be.
Adolfo is speaker number 2, so I'll evaluate.
Adolfo speaker number 2, and you're evaluating Adolfo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay,
Alright.
perfect. All right, let's get started. Let's rock and roll. Okay, we're gonna start with the mission statement. Will you please read the mission statement, Karina?
Do we need to stand up or just?
Yes, it's always better if you stand up.
We don't have.
The mission statement. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth.
Okay.
All right, good job. Next, we have the out counter. Scott, can you please explain to us the roles of the out counter?
The role of the audit counter is to mark down any filler words you may have, for example, and, so's, buts, anything that's used to connect your
Like one of those?
Saying that.
Big sample.
for example. So at the very end, so you can be more aware of your filler words.
Okay, good job. Next, we have grammarian Adolfo.
Yes, I'll do the role of grammarian. I've been listening to everybody that speaks, and I'm going to give a report at the end of it. And also, for the word of the day, it has been selected the word exemplar, which is just an ideal model or type. So a good example for exemplar would be, I made a great speech for the communication, the CC number 1 speech that became an exemplar for all the class.
All right, good job. All right, here we go.
Fine
Next,
doing it today.
we have timer. That'll be Beatrice and Adolfo.
Yes.
Yes. We're gonna alternate.
You want to say anything about timing?
Who's gonna explain? Half and half?
I can explain. Okay. Yeah, we're going to time every speech as we understand. It's not just the delivery of the speech, but also how long it takes to deliver that speech. We need to time the speeches. So Beatrice and I, we will alternate in doing that. And for everybody that speaks, the indication will be given of the minutes to be. Usually it's 4 to 6 minutes. You will see the green light for the main speeches, and for the table topics, it's 1 minute to 2 minutes. And at the 1 minute, you see the green light, and that's when you know that you are okay. You are done. You can wrap it up at that moment if you want. For the evaluations, it's 4 to 6 minutes. Is that correct?
2 to 3.
2 to 3 minutes.
Wow.
So you will see the green light for the evaluators at the 2 minute light. All right, which is the green light, and we'll give a report at the end. What's that?
And
Thank you.
table
All right.
Table topic?
We are ready.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good job. Now, Adolfo, I think it's best if you get situated with the timer,
Yes.
the lights and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to start doing that now, or if you want to set it up.
I can just
You want to just
do it right. Thank you.
do it on the table? on the chair?
And that way we both have it right.
Okay, you need something to set it up? Or you
No,
good?
thank you.
You go.
Okay, next then, we also have a vote counter, and that is Adolfo and Beatrice.
I'm sorry, what?
The
Vote counter, who's gonna, can you explain to us the
You
roles?
wanna
Yeah.
play?
The vote, the vote
Yeah,
counter.
the vote counter, if you see your ballots here, so we have 2 speakers today, so vote for me. Choose this part here. So we have best evaluator, best speaker, and best table topic speaker. So you get to use this ballot. And don't forget to even make use of these sections here to, if you feel like, giving your opinion about someone, you can always write some love note here, make it sweet. Or you can put a kiss there, keep it sweet. Okay, that's it.
Okay, good job. Okay, we have 2 speakers, and we're gonna have Scott. Scott, you're gonna evaluate Beatrice, right?
Oh,
So can you tell us about
This is easy.
Beatrice's speech?
Project number 1. That's the easiest we can do on the spot.
But I can go over right here.
Speech number 1.
Yeah, speech number 1.
Okay, so introduction.
Yes.
So for today, Beatrice will be doing her icebreaker speech, project number 1. So the purpose of the objectives is to begin speaking for an audience, discover speaking skills you already have, and skills that you need some attention to. So the timing will be 4 to 6 minutes for her icebreaker speech.
All right, good job. All right, well, let's call Beatrice for her speech.
Wow.
All right, take it away. Good job.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmasters, and do we still have guests, or have you guys become our Toastmasters?
We filled out our paperwork, so.
I can say you-
Training.
Transition stage.
Okay.
Like, Adolfo.
I should say this is a no-brainer, you should get on it.
Well, we filled it out, we just need to get it handed over.
Oh,
There you go, good
so
job.
that's as good as becoming members, yay! So, today's my icebreaker speech. Not that I never did it before, but because I was put on the spot, and this is the easiest thing that we all can do. And since I spent how many months here? 5 months here. So I should be able to do it, on the spot. So let me begin with my name, my full name, Beatrice Williams Uli. I'm an Anglo-Indian from India, and I've always had, as you heard my previous speech, a culture shock in my own country. Had lots of problems there. But when I moved to Dubai, that place was really beautiful with its beautiful landscaping, built skyscrapers, and the place is for really pampered, rich people. And during that time, all we wanted to do was accumulate wealth and, have a good time and have fun. That's what life is about, right? So, and to my good luck, we met those kind of friends. Those who were fun-loving, non-judgmental, and we were so relaxed with them. So every week was like a barbecue on the beach. So we had really fun and any excuse to have a party. Yeah, so it was that fun. Then in 2003, I moved to sunny California, and I thought it's going to be double fun. Because that's what we know about America. When we are in India and elsewhere, all you think is, oh my God, this is the most happening place. So I was so happy, and I kept asking my husband, is this that real California where Hollywood, and that's Hollywood is in California? Is that the place you're talking about? And he's like, come on, how many times should I tell you that's the place? So I was so excited. And then when I came here in the first few months, I couldn't meet many friends. And I was like, oh, where are all the Indians? You know, like my own community. Because that's what we think, you know, go and reach out to our own community where you feel comfortable. And then I found a whole new community. They just reminded me of my days back in India, so that was a horrible experience, and I was not happy at all. I got into fights after fights, and I thought, oh my goodness, I can't do this. So I chose to stay, you know, by myself, trying to meet up with people around me, and they were of different ethnicity, and so I became friends with them, and I was not that happy, and I got homesick. I wanted to go back to Dubai. But then, something drastically happened and transformed me like, you know, unbelievable in 2005. That's when I was watching the movie on the Gospel of John. And, you know, most of the people that I met in the Indian crowd were Christians, and I hated them. They were like, oh, so irritable. I would get like goosebumps. Christians, just run away from me. No. And then in 2005, when I was watching this movie on the Gospel of John, and in that movie, if you happen to know Gospel of John or read it, it's very intense. It's like Jesus is telling everyone that he's the Son of God, and nobody wants to believe, and they're pelting him with stones. And at that moment, when I sat there and I looked, and unconsciously, subconsciously, I was saying, Lord, if I was there, I would believe in you. Something happened to me. So now my hair stands when I think about it. My whole body was like covered in this glow. And I saw this, Jesus was standing beside me. And something happened instantly to my mind and my heart. Two things. My mind knew that there is something else. There is a heaven and there is a hell. That's it. And my heart was filled with love. I never knew how many people I hated and I was enemies with. I never knew, because I thought I was right all the time. But there was conviction, especially with my husband, poor guy. I remember, like, every time I would get mad, it was like, get at him, like, you know, because he's my first person who I want to take my temper out of. But I never knew that. I always thought I was right. So, but then conviction came to me. I dropped down on my knees. When he came home, he was actually traveling to China at that time, and he came home, and I was like, everything was changed, right? The way I look at things, and I just held him so tight. He was like, oh my gosh, who are you? Where is that lady of the house? Who are you? And I said, it's me, something happened. And I took him and I told him what happened. And he was like, oh my goodness, is it? I got to get rid of all the idols, because he was a Hindu. And he said, okay, this is it. And that's how I became a pastor. So.
All right, good job.
Very good.
All right, let's give it a real clap, okay? Let's do it. All right. Good job. Good job, great story, absolutely. Great speech. Next, we are going to call the next evaluator. We're gonna have the next speaker, which is Adolfo, and we're gonna have Bobby give us a little overview of Adolfo's speech.
Yes, Adolfo is also, as we all know, Adolfo has completed his 10 speeches from this manual. Now he's going to go back to the speeches again.
Okay.
So he's going to do the icebreaker speech
Yeah.
one more time.
Icebreaker.
And the objectives, of course, is to begin speaking before an audience, discover speaking skills that he already have, and skills that need some attention. Obviously, we already know that Adolfo has a lot of speaking skills already.
Yes.
But we'll see how it goes the second time around.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's call Adolfo. Let's see how he can break the
Yeah,
ice.
what's your title? Did you have a title?
How I became who I am today.
Who am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
Good job. All right, Adolfo, take it away.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here, fellow Toastmasters. This is my second time I'm going to talk about my icebreaker. I would like to say that I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, South America, and I came to this country through different, going back and forth several times, until finally I was located in the Midwest, where after a lot of summer, winters that were really terrible, I came and visited California, and the contrast with the weather motivated me to stay in California,
Oh, yes.
not in the Midwest. Now, some of my family came here before, and some have come after me. But basically, I also want to talk about myself from the beginning. When I was little, one of the hobbies that I always liked to do was manual things. I would do carpentry since I was a little kid, and I would do manual things a lot. I love photography. I love doing films when I was little. And there was one hobby that caught my attention. And that's why I would like to title my speech today, How a Hobby Made Me Who I Am Today. That's a hobby that I really love, and sometimes I do it, and that's called magic. I would do magic. I would actually start doing magic shows, and I did it for a while, and it was fun. It was fun to understand the psychology involved in magic and how, you do things, and you point to things, and you open like that your hand, and people are looking at the hand because you are looking at it, and the psychology involved, the misdirection that exists, how to achieve that. However, in doing that, I discovered that it was fascinating to do it, but one element was missing, and that was the capacity to speak, capacity to talk. So when I heard about Toastmasters, I thought, oh, this is a good thing to do here. It has to be developed, I never really developed that much. I would do magic with music. And that's an art way for to do it, but it will be it will be a different way to do it. There are different types of magic. Now that type of hobby made me a lot who I am today, because I became involved with clubs and with other activities to enhance magic. Just like Toastmasters enhanced the public speaking, there were other activities like film itself, and I started putting everything together for doing magic and enjoying doing it. That. One thing I like to say about myself is that because I did that in one company I worked for here in the United States, for Meta Corporation, I remember doing one magic show every Friday during the break time in the morning. I would have all the vice president, the president, the vice president of engineering, and they all will be waiting for me every time I would come to the break for lunch, type of thing, because they wanted to see the trick of the day for that Friday.
Oh, nice.
So it was fun thing to do, and it created a lot of entertainment, and everybody loved magic. So in doing that, I know some people have asked me already, when am I going to start seeing some magic? I want to see, but the reason I would like to add now is because I want to develop more my ability to speak, and that's why I'm doing that. But then it will come soon, sooner than you think. So that element is one that it will always be there present, and yourself, you got to be present when that comes out and show your body. All right? Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, good job. Good. All right, so let's we're gonna go for timers report.
Yes.
Beatrice, you have a timer report?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, you wanna
Oh,
know?
no. Okay. Done for, he qualifies 4 minutes. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
4 to 6
I'm
minutes.
glad. I'm glad.
Okay.
How about
You have it right here. Yourself.
Oh, 6.
6 minutes, 16 seconds. You qualify. Yeah.
all right? Good.
All right, so they qualify for timer, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, now let's vote for the best speaker. Oh, I get to vote, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's rock and roll.
I don't.
Aha.
Don't vote.
What vote is gonna make that difference? doing. Aha! Okay, well, you need time, Bobby, or can we proceed?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna do table topics, and we're gonna call Scott Janakuchi for table topic master.
Alright.
All right. All right, Scott, good job, let's do it. Take it away.
Alright, welcome everybody. So this will be our impromptu speaking portion of our meeting. So with the Table Topics Master, we will have 3 speakers come up today and to give a quick speech. So one requirement is be within time limit, which is 1 minute for qualifying, right?
Yes.
1 minute for qualifying, 1.5 and 2 minutes will be read.
That's
And the second qualification is the word of the day to include that in your speech was exemplar, a noun, which means an ideal model or type. So make sure to have those 2 things to qualify. So my first question of the day is, for me, I love to watch movies and TV and any shows that really embarks your imagination, your creativity, and also some learning lessons. So one of the last movies I saw, which was pretty awesome, was Wreck-It Ralph. And for me, it kind of took me back in the days of me as a kid. Like, oh, I remember playing that at the video game and how it kind of made me feel. How many of you guys have watched Wreck-It Ralph? Maybe some of you haven't heard of it. But it kind of takes you back. It's like Toy Story. It kind of takes you back to when you were a kid and kind of reminisces of those memories. So the main thing was about video games. So think about a video game character that you can kind of idolize or you wanted to be like. And if you could be like him, what would life be like if you were like that game character? Okay, so I have to go and call on Jesse.
All right.
Jesse, come on, Jesse.
All right, let's do it. Hello, Toastmasters. Let me go back in time. In fact, when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of this video games, a lot of this characters. I was not really, nothing of that happened in my life. I was actually just living day by day, and back, like I said, no video game. But one thing I can tell you out of the top of my head, something just to cause me to speak. I watched the movie Monsters, Inc. with my daughter when she was little. She was like, I don't know, a few years old. And as you know, I don't know if someone has watched Monsters, Inc., that movie. And it's about certain special characters that they're old characters and just a little human being, a little girl she was like probably 2 years old, could barely walk and speak. And we would watch it every time, like time after time. You know, kids, they love to watch movies like 1,000 times. They really love the movie. And I really enjoyed watching the movie because it was pretty attractive, a lot of characters, and even my daughter was really small. I used to call her, because in the movie they call it it was monsters. They would call the little girl Boo.
Oh.
So my daughter was about that age, and I would call her my little Boo. And even she's 13 years old right now, I still call her my little Boo, even though she's about my height. But one of the things is that I enjoy spending time with her and actually be an exemplary dad who spends time with her and fun watching movies. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Jesse.
Shoo!
Alright. So the second movie I've been watching recently was a more, not really kiddish, but more like the very creative, very imaginative movie. It's called Cloud Atlas. So Cloud Atlas, what it was about is about these characters, and throughout time, they tend to, transmit their soul. It's kind of really weird out there kind of movie, but in a nutshell, what it is throughout time, these stories kind of interlink where, people's stories kind of come together at every instant of time. So my question is, if you had to go back in time, any portion throughout history, right, during, the pyramids to the growing of Europe or even America, so if you go back a period of time, what would it be and why? Okay, so let's call him Voss.
All right, back in time. All right. That's so fun.
Can you repeat?
Okay, sure. So if you can go back in time and live in any era of history, what would it be and why?
Okay. Hello, my fellow Toastmaster friends. If I can go back in time to pick the exemplar time of the time I want to be involved in. I would say the World War II era. I don't watch much TV, but it's not from TV, just from reading about a person known as Hitler. You know, and a lot of people denigrate him, and I don't believe in what he stood for. I don't believe that, you know, killing races off. But the way he thought, the way he was able to convince people to think the way he thought about killing off a race, that was very intriguing to me. So I would want to be a fly on the wall. I wouldn't want him to see me. So I'd be a fly on the wall. Wow, what is he saying? How is he able to convince these people to think that there's only one race and nobody else matters? It was very fascinating to me. So I would want to be that fly on the wall, just to listen how he helped people, or not help people, how he did this to people, because I want to use those same techniques to help people. So thank you.
All right, good job.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Awesome. And the last thing I've been watching recently, it's kind of a new TV show. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, The Walking Dead. It's pretty dramatic. What it basically is about is like this virus epidemic comes out, and some become zombies, and there's only a handful of people, survivors left, and they gotta do whatever they do to survive. So if there was a zombie apocalypse after 2012, you know, at the end of the year, if something were to happen that way, knock on wood, what would be the one item you would for sure need, or grab from your home, or one item you need to survive? I think it's calling Karina.
All right. All right, let's do this. You can survive. If I survive, she can survive.
The keyword is to grab from home to survive.
Yeah. So.
All right, good job.
Wow. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Well, to grab the one thing from my home to survive, it's right now from the top of my head I can think of a lot of things, but out of all these things I can think of, the one thing I want to grab will be a picture of my parents, my father and mother, because they've been my influence. They are the example of my life to teach me, you know, to be the person I am now. So if anything should happen to me, because by looking at the pictures, that might be like create an inner strength for myself to find a way, okay, if there's a disaster, if I'm going to hit by an alien, whatever. Because my dad would always say, if there's something that you know is going to happen and you know you can't avoid, just find a way to deal with it. So if the picture is there, that would give me some kind of a strength or some kind of a reinforcement that, okay, I have to find a way to figure out how to deal with this alien or whatever is going to happen to me. Because they have been the example of my life, so that would help a lot as far as I won't be as afraid and will be able to think better as to how to deal with the situation. That's it.
All right.
Thank you everybody for your wonderful insights. So now we'll call on the timers reports.
Jesse took 1 minute and 44 seconds. Vaz took 1 minute and 17 seconds. Karina took 1 minute and 26 seconds. So all three qualified.
Awesome.
All right, good job.
And next up, the grammarian report.
Yes.
Someone use the word of the day.
Jesse and Bas use the word of the day. I believe Karina.
She used.
Do you use it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Karina
should
uses
try
it,
it.
so
Yeah.
that means-
I miss Bob, but I know if she did.
Yeah, she did. Okay, that's correct. I'm sorry. Karina used the word of the day. That means that all three speakers qualify.
All right.
And now the time, we'll have to go out there and make a vote for your best table topic speaker.
So, who's both doesn't vote, right? We don't vote, right?
You vote for yourself.
You vote for myself? Yeah. Oh, I
Wait a minute, that's how I win on the time.
That's what Vasquez doing like that. He put his own name on the paper.
I'll shoot to win.
Oh, that's why I have been winning on the time.
If I don't vote for myself, who is?
And next, I'd like to do the evaluation part of our meeting. So we have Adolfo, your next general evaluator.
Oh, I will be.
No, that will be.
Bobby.
I will. No, actually, you call back the postmaster and then.
Okay,
you call me.
Jesse. So I'm gonna call by Jesse
Yeah, thanks
to
for calling
conclude
back.
our triple topics. Sorry, guys.
All right, good job. Let's do it. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, now we vote for the best. Okay, you already called
We
for it,
already
right?
did that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that-
did that?
You have to.
All right. Okay, now so I'm gonna call now. I'm gonna call our great friend Bobby Conseco. He's our general evaluator. Let's give it up for Bobby.
Let's do it. Thank you. Alright, in this portion, as your general evaluator, I will be making comments about anything or everything that happens during the meeting. But before I do that, I have to call on my help, which is the evaluators and the tag team, those who will help me give comments about the meeting. So for our first evaluator, please help me welcome Scott Giannacucci.
You know me? So how much does a pullover weigh? You guys might have heard of this or know this. How much does a pullover weigh? Enough to break the ice. So for Beatrice, this is her second time around for her icebreaker to get to know who she is. And the thing about breaking the ice is that sometimes it might be a little uncomfortable since we don't really know each other or don't know too much about it. So we have to kind of express ourselves and open ourselves up, kind of break that ice in order to really get to know who Beatrice is. So that's the purpose of this icebreaker. So for our second time around, one thing we look at is all the different elements of what a speech has, right? Is it organized? So I really feel on that part, she really did a great job. She talked about her coming from a different country, having a culture shock, you know, reaching out to different people from her culture, and then eventually finding her path out here to become a pastor. So it kind of has a very chronological order. You can kind of see the point where she's at today. So I think another strength she has with her vocal variety, I would say, is a very, very big key. Because when you just listen to her, even though if you don't really see her, you can feel her. And I think that's when you have really good vocal variety, is that when you don't even see somebody, but you can kind of feel them, you know their energy, they're excited. And I think that's a key thing about speaking, vocal variety, because sometimes with speeches, it's not really, a lot of times it's body language, but let's say you're listening to somebody over the radio or someone over tape, you can't really see them. So how can you really feel and connect with them? It's through their vocal variety. And I think Beatrice has a very good, uplifting, very positive voice, right? Very voice projection. And her body language, I love how she's very expressionate, that she doesn't just, she can't really sit still, and so you're always excited to kind of see, okay, what she can do next, and everything she does it's very, very uplifting in a sense. So her body language. So one thing I would probably recommend for Beatrice, this is her second time around. So I really like that she talked about more about herself and how she became it, and she talked about her beliefs and what she believes about her spirituality and more about herself. I would say a room improvement is to maybe just have a better conclusion or a better story, right? Just figure out not just where you are, but maybe where you want to be, right? Some of your future goals and, you know, just a little more about you and where do you want to be. So aside from that, Beatrice, really did like your icebreaker speech, and in a sense, you're like the best polar bear, right? Icebreaker I've probably seen in a while. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Scott. That's a very good evaluation. All right. Now I will do the evaluation for Adolfo. Adolfo, wow. It's only a few months, right, when you became Toastmaster. You haven't been a year yet, though, have you? Right. It's like magic.
Yeah.
He's been transformed from somebody who's so shy, now he's so good at it. And what I like about Adolfo's speech is he's so relaxed, always comes up with a smile, which is so engaging. You know, I like to listen, and he has a good mellow voice and good pacing of his speech. And this is the first time I heard about him talking about magic and how this turned out to be the key that transformed Adolfo. Magic. And I could just imagine during lunchtime how all these executives would be
so fixated at him listening to what's going to come up next. It's kind of like pulling a rabbit out of somewhere. The speech itself is very entertaining, there's no question, and it basically shows your skills, how you use good use of the stage, go from this side to the other side, even went around here in a natural. Some speaker, they would just keep on talking and it was kind of irritating, but he didn't do that. He just made his point in this side and then slowly walked here and then gave another point. That's what I like. Now, how can we improve on this speech? The one thing that I was looking forward to, since this is your second time around on this type of speech, is to come up with a nice opening. Do away with the apologies, like this explaining, oh, hello, Toastmasters, so. Always train our eyes, or our thoughts on trying to come up with a nice opening to catch the attention of the audience. Amateurs, they would say, oh, this is my first time, so forgive me if I made a mistake. That's not the first time. And then when you have a nice opening, you also want to come up with a nice closing. So that's always a challenge for each and every one of us when we want to make a speech. Come up with a sandwich, nice opening, nice closing, and then fill it with the nice thoughts that you want to talk about. No matter whether it's a 2 minutes to 3 minute speech or 4 minutes to 6 minute speech or whatever it is, always sandwich it. That way you can leave your audience really amazed, just like magic.
Well, you gotta make a healthy sandwich.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I have to now give my evaluation.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about the meeting. I like that Toastmasters today. It's so energetic. That's the spirit, man.
You have to time
Now,
you?
let me
hungry
first
with the
call on
sandwich.
the timers report.
Oh yeah. Scott took 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Bobby took 2 minutes and 52 seconds, and
Okay.
both qualified.
Both qualified. So let's go for the bell.
What do you think?
Okay, now we have an counter report.
Yes.
Scott.
On the all counter report, Beatrice had 2 ands, 2 so's, 3 no's, 4 uhs. Rodolfo had 1 and, 1 so, 1 buts, 2 uhs, 1 ah. Jesse had 3 ands, 1 and 1 like. Boss had 1 you know and 2 uhs.
You know.
Karina had 1 so, 1 you know, 1 okay. And Bobby, I couldn't find any because he's a veteran at this. And for me, I probably had a good handful as well. And so, yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Scott multitasking? He had his vote
Now
ready.
we
Wow, definitely right.
do we need to do you have additional report about the grammarian? Any egregious use of language or
I would say, well, yes, I would like to say as a grammarian that one thing I like about meetings, impromptu meetings in particular, by the way, become meetings where people speak the way they have to speak, right?
Yeah.
And usually, sometimes that happens is that they speak pretty good. They're pretty good because somehow there is the nervousness of doing it right and everything, and then you become conscious of doing it right. So people speak actually better than when everything is nice and soft. So you are so relaxed that you don't care about how you speak. So that's one thing, about the ideas that come and the words that come to be funny or to be appropriate for the occasion. So I think we're doing pretty good, considering.
alright.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Now for my evaluation about this meeting. First of all, let's thank Jesse for allowing us to meet here.
Thank you.
And I like the idea of using a clipboard so that
Yes.
we could write on. People are so concerned that we don't have a table. And I said, you don't really need a table as long as you have something to write on. And he came up with a clipboard, and I think that's a good idea.
Yes, of course.
All right. And if you come to think of it, when you are asked to give a speech, you're not speaking to people with tables on it, you know, all the time, like as if though you're in a classroom or something. You're always in a theater type, or when you're in a function, there's people in tables, you know, among themselves, but they're not really type that you would expect. So it's good to be used to talking to a different types of arrangement.
Yes.
Yeah. The second thing is, I like the cooperation, the innovativeness, that we always come up and step up or assuming roles, whether it's duplicate or not. The people who didn't come up, they probably didn't have their problem. I would guess that they had trouble looking for the place, so we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt, so that's good. The other thing that I observed, and because we don't have a gesture monitor, in some clubs we have a gesture monitor who would really report on the gestures of people. You know. So let me be that one, the gesture monitor. One thing that I observe is, yeah, very animated people. When you're here, I know if it's your first time, don't hang on to this too much. It will not go away. Believe me, it will stay here. Keep your hands always to the side, because when you start speaking and become animated, your hands will naturally follow. You know, the gestures will follow what you're going to, what you want to say. And normally, in Toastmaster, we're so particular about protocols. That's why you don't want this stage to be empty. Okay? So when there's a change in speaker, you have to wait for the guy to come over, shake your hand, so then you can leave. Okay? So don't be in a rush to leave and leave this stage empty. Always have somebody. Now, if you need to reach out for something, don't leave. If you're the Toastmaster, don't leave the stage. Just ask for somebody to hand it for you. That way you're always in control. So let me just leave you with that thought, and I enjoyed being your general evaluator. And now I'd like to return control back to our
Toastmaster. Bobby, let's do it. Thank you, Bobby, for those nuggets. Definitely makes a difference, and that's why we're really excited about having Bobby here. He really always brings us nuggets, and he corrects little things, but it makes a difference. So that's what we're looking for. Some of the experience and knowledge to help us out, grow as a club, and make a difference, and also be those leaders for the new Toastmasters members that will join us. So thank you, Bobby. And also, I'd like to return control to our president of the day.
VP of Education.
Well, still a VP, okay. And president, I hope.
Presiding officer.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm the presiding officer because I'm next down from Peter, who couldn't make it today here. So we're going to proceed next with the awards. So I'm going to leave the best for last, of course. And the first one I'm going to call is for the best speaker, which happens to be Adolfo myself. Okay, we have it. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Camera not coming, all right? Oh, it's still on video? There you go.
All right,
Okay.
Toastmaster.
Let me honor Adolfo. There you go, right here.
Jeez.
All right, good
Thank
job.
you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Next, we're going to call Best Table Topics. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been unanimously selected Bass as. There you go. There you go. Congratulations, Bass. There you go.
Hi, Hitler.
And next, we have today Best Evaluator. Has been selected for our member audience. The Best Evaluator, Bobby Canseco. There you go.
Alright.
Jeez.
Yes.
Well, let me make the closing remarks for the meeting. I think considering the impromptu situation that we have here, almost table topics for everybody, I think. It was. I think we did pretty good. And with that said, unless there are any comments, we're not gonna have, for sure, we're not gonna have a meeting next Wednesday because it's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
So we will not have a meeting.
Yeah, like that.
Then the following, we will inform as soon as this Friday, this coming Friday, we will know, as soon as this coming Friday, we will know the final location. Maybe here, or maybe in another place, but I talked to Peter today, and he even informed me that he was working on that, and we are gonna make sure that we have people informed as soon as this Friday. So you should check your emails and confirm, And also, if any of you would like to make a speech for after Thanksgiving, you can let me know, and anybody, I know that some of us and Karina would like to probably join. I don't know if you have joined or not, but if you're gonna do that, we have everything here ready for that. So with that said, the meeting is adjourned.
All right.